Hi, I'm going to be playing to you one of the most powerful and emotive chord sequences in music. That's what I believe. And if you've recognized what the names of the chords are as I've played them, brilliant, well done. If you can play them smoothly, even better. But let's talk about the chords and getting more out of it. There are a number of chords here: the A minor sound, the major sound of G and F, and then the seventh sound of E7. So we have three very important chord sounds in music. Now, the art of knowing chords is the following: knowing the name, A minor, G, F, E7. Recognizing the quality, it's a minor, it's a major, it's a major, it's a seventh. Imaging the shape, what it looks like, its position on the neck, the fingers used, the position of the wrist. Notice by the movement of the fingers how the wrist is changing. If you're not allowing for this in your playing, you're really going to struggle.
Well, you're bad at it.
So there we go. My daughter's just chatting in the background. A minor, pretty basic position. G, already we have that twist to get these fingers in. Then with F, we relax that to where we were with A minor. And then with E7, we have another shift of the wrist and the arm back to allow for these fingers to fit in. So those are those are the things that you need to really take note of and be very kind to yourself on that. Allow movement to happen. So it becomes a very natural thing in your playing. The other thing is, if you know these chords already, would you be able to explain to someone else, to teach them, have them follow you, or even just talk them through it and watch them as they follow your instructions and see how well you're explaining? That could be a really useful thing, and perhaps a thought that you might think of as well, pretty worthwhile in teaching a grandchild or a friend some of the chords you know, particularly the most significant ones, like, for example, this chord change. Right, now we get into the movement between the chords. I'm going to talk what might seem like crazy talk, but what's important is that you are saying this to yourself. So we're going to play the chord A minor, and we know what it is, but can you explain to yourself? Second finger on the fourth string at the second fret. Now, when we go to G, we're going to imagine the second finger is pulling down while the other fingers are shaping up. Notice the change of the wrist, and we place G. Can you explain G to yourself? Also, it's the sound of a major chord. Now for F, we're going to relax. There's that movement in the wrist. We're going to flex the fingers into position and play F. Now for E7, the index finger comes to the fourth string, and you have another twist in the wrist, and you get E7. Be very aware of these things. A minor, pulling the second finger, pulling you down into the G shape. The first finger and the second finger switching over to F. And then the switch of the first finger and the second finger, adding the third, giving you E7. Then try 2 strums on each, thinking all the time about the motion and talking yourself through it. A minor, second finger pulls to G, switch your fingers for F, switch your fingers for E7. Okay, be very aware of the movement of the wrist. Now, if you need to put in some more work, just work with A minor to G and get that right. 2 correct chords is better than 4 incorrectly formed and becoming frustrated. And once you've got A minor to G sorted out, then try your G to F. Notice how the change happens between the strum strokes. And when you've got F and G and F sorted out, go with F to E7. Take note of the wrist movement and the finger placement. Then gradually start playing all four accurately. Mistakes don't count as practice. Correct movement and control, even at a slow speed, that would count as practice. And being able to speed it up, that's where the fun really begins. But acknowledging that you've been able to play a chord sequence accurately and that you know the names and the sound is a really big achievement. And build all your chord development on those principles of knowing the name, recognizing the quality, imaging the shape, the picture of the chord, its position on the neck, the finger movement, all those things. Being aware of them will actually change your chord playing for the better in your ukulele playing career. Thank you.